Alright, quick Bitcoin update because we are starting to pump pretty aggressively. We're reclaiming some key levels, and I want to talk about what happened here. And I think possibly we could be making a higher low overall for Bitcoin right now, which is, an overall macro idea that I have been talking about for a while. If you watched my last video, you know that I was kind of more leaning towards us coming down to touch this low again, maybe getting another sweep of the overall range low. And up until we started getting this very aggressive push to the upside, ripping through resistance, I was still leaning that way. I think the low that we put in here was not ideal. We left equal lows down there, so we didn't really sweep the early longers. If you watched my last video, which I posted a week ago, dang, I am becoming inconsistent. Sorry about that, but it will change pretty soon. But I was talking about this range right here. It was just after we had broken down from this range at the highs. We were testing key areas of support. The value area low of the all-time high range, I call it, is the range that started forming as we put in all-time high, and I do still think we are trading in it. So important value area low here. We were beginning to form a range. We were SFPing lows, getting some bullishness here. And my idea was basically centered around this range. I was thinking if we break the range lower, then there's liquidity below us that we can come down and sweep. It actually extends all the way down to the low, so once we broke the range, I was technically targeting here, even though I knew there was a possibility that we actually do make a higher low relative to that area. And if we started breaking the range bullishly, then I would think, all right, maybe we are holding the value area low support. Maybe the higher low came in without sweeping this liquidity back here. Or, at the very least, maybe us breaking this range would just lead to a temporary move to the upside before eventually coming back down. Those were basically my ideas. After I posted my video, we got fake outs both ways. We took out the range low, but it was just an SFP. We did not close candles significantly below it, so it didn't count. We came back into the range and basically did the same thing at the high. This is more of an SFP type move. If you go to a high time frame, it is just wicks above there, but even just looking on the lower time frame, you can tell that that's not a strong break. We just barely peaked above the range high, and we started getting bearishness immediately by SFPing highs, and I'm sure there were bear divs on a lower time frame. Eventually, we started breaking structure, and for that reason, I did not get burned trying too long on this move to the downside. Because we did not get the bullish confirmation I was hoping for, so I was not really feeling bullish. I was more so looking at the range low once again, and I did not enter along here because I did not see the confirmations that I wanted, and we eventually ended up breaking lower. Now, I had this blue box up on my screen. I didn't think it was super important, but I kept it up because I was thinking if anything is going to hold us from touching this low after sweeping some of this liquidity, this liquidity right here, this blue box does make sense out of anything, and we did actually end up holding it. And the way we held it, again, was weird. I didn't really like that, but at this point, considering the aggression that we're getting to the upside, I don't really think it matters too much that this is a poor low. We've seen Bitcoin put in a lot of poor lows and then just continue to the upside anyway. And at this point, Bitcoin is reclaiming the value area low once again. I think this is a pretty decisive move above value area low. I think there are ways that we could flip back to bearish. We could, begin ranging once again with bearish signs and then start to lose value area low once again. And then my bias, probably immediately switches back to bearish to target some of these poor lows in liquidity. But for right now, since we're getting such aggression above value area low, I think it's pretty obvious that the intention is bullish. I think market Cipher backs up the bullishness on the daily. We are seeing a trigger wave begin to form, money flows turning back to the upside. On the 12-hour, momentum, money flow, RSIs, all moving to the upside. The 4-hour money flow is starting to look pretty decent. Curvature heading back to the upside after we did technically get divergences on the low, so some kind of bullish confirmation on the higher time frames for market Cipher. 2-hour time frame is starting to get some slight bear divs on the highs. Not with money flow though. And let me double check that. We could get a slight one, but I don't think that matters too much. These look like very insignificant divergences. And if anything, I think that could just call for a consolidation period. Maybe we retrace our range before trying to continue upwards. I'm not really seeing anything that would tell me that this is going to end up being a false move back into the range and that we're just going to immediately lose it. I'm not really getting that vibe based on market Cipher and based on the aggression that we're currently seeing. But I do want to watch higher time frame candle closes. We did already get a 4-hour close back within the range, so I do like that. Let's check the 12-hour. We still got 7 hours on that, as well as the daily. So, I mean, obviously, closing 12-hour daily candles back, this far above value area low would be bullish as well. I think I really wouldn't want to see a daily candle close like back down here, even if we can technically retrace for a higher low. I would prefer for it not to be right around the time that daily candle is going to close, because I wouldn't want to see a giant wick on the daily candle peeking back in here, especially if we then immediately start to lose value area low again. And we are approaching some resistance. We're getting close to this range that we broke down from and never backtested. I think that is going to act as resistance. We can look at volume of this range, see if that can give us anything. And I like where this point of control is. There's this mini range here as well, so this area would be a zone of resistance for me. And I would say I would put a resistance box from the top of that mini range down to this low, and I think that's going to be like the main area of resistance. This value area high is lining up with this old red box that I have, so I might as well drag that over as well, but I do think that is less significant than this area. And of course, above that, we have the bigger range point of control that we still have not hit since, losing the value area low, kind of ranging down here and then breaking back up again. But yeah, I suspect that Bitcoin is going to probably continue to the upside, try and test some of this resistance. Maybe this is an area that we get a pullback from. We could even, maybe see this area stop price, and maybe we just end up reversing this very aggressive move to the upside. We did leave a lot of fair value gaps below us, so if things start to turn bearish, it could fall very quickly. But, just following my gut, I think that we will probably end up working our way through this resistance. Maybe we get some retraces, but I suspect that we will probably continue to the upside from here. I think if we were meant to grab liquidity from down here, we would have done it when we were much closer. Like, what's the point of sending price all the way back up here just to come back down to grab that liquidity? We had a chance already. That's my opinion anyway, but, that could change. And depending on how price acts will determine if my opinion changes or not. But anyways, I think that's it for the video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. I appreciate the support. And I will see you all in the next one, which will hopefully come sooner than a week from now.